we're talking about a lot of undefeated fighters that stayed undefeated after
Well, I think
yesterday.
it was something like only one fight had a blue corner fighter winning or something like that.
Nuts.
I think it was
Nuts.
one fight. Could be wrong.
But hey, we'll start off with the main event. A lot of people were looking forward to this, and I know we say that a lot, but no, this time a lot of people were really looking forward to this main event. We had Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Blessed.
Is it?
Man. Okay, so going into this,
God.
yeah, dude. Look, a lot of folks are Max Holloway fans. Um, he's still amongst the top of the division, never went away, right? I know he
No.
lost to Volkanovski, but a lot of people still regard this guy as one of the best, if not the best in the division. Um, but look, we have this young fighter, this young gun coming in, telling everybody that he's going to knock him out, that he's going to beat him. He fights Alexander Volkanovski. I'm talking about Topuria, and he
Mhm.
beats Alexander Volkanovski with the right
Knocks
hook,
him out.
knocks him out, and everybody was like, "Look, slow it down because Volkanovski just got beat up by Makhachev,
Yeah,
right?
he
So
got head kicked.
that's why he
He came back
lost,
too soon.
came back too soon. And Topuria was like, whatever, guys, all right? Like, I'm the man now. Put me up against anybody in the division. And here comes Max Holloway. Because everybody has said, like, Max Holloway beats anybody not named Volkanovski.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's coming off knocking out Justin Gaethje at lightweight, so you're like, he could take
Yes.
the power from Ilia. Everyone's
So
like, well,
if
he
you do all
God.
that MMA math, you subtract one, square root of nine, everything's, you're like, okay, Holloway's winning, right?
Mhm.
And
Then you look at the odds.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, wait a second, what does Vegas know that I don't? So by the way, though, going into this, I will say I picked Ilia Topuria to win this
Mhm.
fight.
I
Young
did pick Max.
fighter, very powerful, great boxing, very well rounded, right? And we know that especially at this weight division, as you start climbing up in age, you start seeing a little lot sooner. And Max Holloway, look, he's still young, but he's got a lot of miles on him.
He's old in the game.
Old
He's
and
been hit
see what
more
a
than
career.
any active UFC fighter. Uh,
Old in the game, like Snoop Dogg,
he
you know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that he's such a volume striker that comes in the territory. If you're constantly throwing, you're leaving openings, like, it's just happening, right?
Yep.
And so, yes, he's winning all those fights by avalanche, but it's not like he's not getting hit, he's still getting hit more than anybody else in the UFC. Does add up. That being said, I don't even think that's that much of a factor in this fight. I really don't. I think
Yeah.
I think
He
Ilya
looked
just
fantastic at
cracks.
first with his footwork. You know,
Dude,
as Ilia was coming in, he was having a really hard time closing the distance in the beginning, and he
especially
had
the
this
first round.
beautiful, like, a small shuffle back, and he'd get that left, check hook as Ilia was
Mhm.
coming in. He kept on
Was
cracking
nice.
Ilia with that over and over again.
I really like the switch high kick on the left side because Ilya
Yes.
that's one thing that everybody has said. Ilya struggles with southpaws because there's a clip of, um, who's a flat earther? Bryce Mitchell, teeing off on him really in southpaw. Um, was it Jai Herbert that, hit him with the high kick on the
Mm.
um,
Rocked him, right?
yeah, everyone said the two weaknesses, if you can even call them weaknesses, the two glimpses of success against Ilya has been the open side head kick and outside leg kicks because he stands so heavy on his lead leg so that he can do all the head movement stuff, right? And so I really like the switch high kick on the open side from Max. Never really landed, but it's a good look, and he was flicking it out a ton, and you're like, okay, that is good. I wish he
Mhm.
had more time in southpaw, um, but he didn't, but it didn't really matter. 'Cause, I mean, like at the end of the day, he still fought an excellent fight, and he was right there with. I think Ilya probably took the 2 rounds. You could argue round one for Max.
Ooh, close. Yeah, the first round was really close.
Yeah, I think maybe you do Max round one. Um, Ilya started finding his range in the second, I thought.
Yes.
It's not like he was outclassing him at any point, it was still very close. Like, these guys, they're so good, both of them. Um, and yeah, Max is long in the tooth, and he's had a lot of miles on him and stuff like that. But that being said, it was still so evenly matched, and it was volume versus power. Uh, and even Ilia was landing at a decent clip, I think. But ultimately, Ilia's 2 weapons, man. That his left hook is so good. You see it in this photo. The left hook
Mhm.
is so good. He can use that same entry as a hand trap. The overhand right is phenomenal. And just really with those 2 punches and his distance awareness and his footwork and his head movement, man, he can really set some traps and just fuck people up with that power. It's crazy, dude.
He's so fundamentally sound, man. Mechanics are just on point, and,
Yeah,
his fight IQ. And look, I had, because I use, Underdog, right? So it's almost like Prize Picks, I guess you could say.
I saw the ads.
And yeah, and I picked Topuria to win, but by decision. I can't
Mhm.
remember the last time I've ever seen Max get dropped.
He's
Uh,
only happened once going into this.
yeah, never been knocked out, right? Or did he
Never been
get
knocked out.
okay? And so I thought, super durable. He's got the Hawaiian chin on him. I think
Yeah.
Topuria will probably end up winning the later rounds because of his fight IQ. And so, like you said, after the second, I was like, okay, here we go. This is kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
And then
God.
he catches Holloway, man.
Yeah, and it's things that he preoccupies the hands of Holloway. Shout out Coleslaw. Ilya really shocked a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, to I picked Max, but it was more of a heart pick more than a brain pick.
Mm,
Um, and
mm.
that's what gets me every time. But there's that open side head kick. But man, I knew this was a dangerous one. Uh, just because, like I said, when you're a volume fighter, you are leaving openings and you are getting hit,
It's gonna
and
happen.
you can't get hit by Ilya, dude. You just can't get hit by him. And the way he set it up was so cool with just preoccupying Max's hands because Max is such a pitter patter a lot of the time, right? And so he's once he kind of probably once he felt Max's rhythm is when he's really started to go for it. And the finishing sequence is so fucking good, dude, from both sides actually, because it starts with the left hook look for a hand trap on Max. So Max's hands are outstretched and down. I think there's a photo of it. It might be coming up soon, actually. Um, but he throws the left hand like a hook, but it's open palm. Uh, and then maybe the next picture, Rich. Yes. So there's the hand trap. When he throws that, you can't really tell. It looks like like he's making a fist, but that left hand is open and it's pulling down on the hand of Max. He pulls down the hands, bam, that right comes right over the top, cracks him,
Cracked
and you
him.
see Max kind of look off to the rafters a little bit, and you're like, oh fuck, and
He's
he
hurt.
goes
He's
straight
hurt,
back.
hurt.
He's hurt, and Ilya, there it is. I mean, you see where his hands are. It's because of the hand trap, and uh, he gets him against the fence, and he's ripping him with some hooks, and Max weathers it, and then exits, and you're like, oh shit, Max is still in this, man. This is good. He's still like he got hurt, but his recovery is insane. His chin's insane. He's in this. The way he exited that exchange was nasty. And then right here, the next, if we go back one picture, here is the finishing sequence right after that. Literally the next exchange after he gets off the fence. And I'm like, all right, we're back in this. Ilya steps Ilya steps in and fucking Max throws that knee to the body that you see here, and he meets him in the middle with it, and you're like, nice, that's a good attack from Max here as Ilya closes the distance. And then again, the preoccupied hands. He then pushes Ilya away to disengage from this knee, which you see there. But then you see Ilya still in perfect form throwing that left hook over the top, and you're like, oh no. My boy. And that left lands and it drops him, and it was pretty much it. But
Damn,
look at the
Rich.
hands completely outstretched to push. I did this
Rich
specifically
going
because I
back
know
and forth
Rich is
on the
gonna
picture.
yeah. Uh,
Oh,
it's
man.
nasty, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He drops
And,
him. Yeah.
what a beautiful setup, though, by Ilia
Beautiful, dude.
Topuria. Again,
Yeah.
people have been talking about his fight IQ. Ganskow putting a red rose in the chat for the Matador. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, dude, just beautiful performance. And I think that anybody that was questioning whether Ilia is a true champion or not, they can't question it anymore, man.
No, no, definitely not. I mean, he's on a path now, man. Knocking out Volkanovski and Max back to back is fucking crazy.
No,
I know,
look
I
at
hate it.
Max right there. It looks like he's just looking off in the distance, looking in the crowd for somebody to help him. That was
Yeah,
rough,
and then
dude.
meanwhile, the guy in the crowd sitting front row right there just looks completely unbothered, could care less what's happening.
With his fist in his chin, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
kinda,
just
like, chilling, dude. Alright, well,
yeah.
hey,
Ganskow says
uh,
both main events went just about how I thought. I had my Ilia swag on. Yeah, I picked with my heart on both the main and the co-main, but I was like, I don't like this. I don't like either of these fights for my boys, but I'm gonna ride or die with
Ganskow,
them.
I don't know if you heard me or not, but I did pick, Topuria, but I thought he was gonna go the distance, so, while I picked Topuria, didn't, pick the way that it was gonna be finished the right way.
Man, he's just
It
so
is what it
dangerous,
is,
man.
dude.
He is so dangerous.
So Max Holloway is now saying, 155 is looking pretty good.
Yeah,
I think that's most definitely the move.
you do a BMF
Um,
fight, right? With like Poirier or
yeah.
uh they're saying maybe Dan Hooker. I don't know if Dan Hooker. I think that is a BMF fight, and I think it would be fucking awesome. But I don't think that's what they'll do. I think they want a bigger name for Max, probably.
Yeah, so right now, taking a look at the top 10, you have Rafael Fiziev, Matus Gamrot, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker, Max Holloway, number 5 right now. In
Mhm.
lightweight, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, and Armin Tsarukyan before you get to Islam.
Yeah, I think you probably do. And this is one of those things where I think you probably do Dustin is what they'll do. Dustin says he has one more fight. I think that's a good fight for Dustin. They have history already, right?
If he wins, he
Um,
rides off into the sunset with the BMF title, and then
yeah,
a company can now sunset the belt because they're saying the BMF rode off with the belt, you know what I mean?
yeah. And then I think here's the dark horse, and I don't think this is going to happen, but I could very well see
Ooh,
this, and I think maybe they should. Um,
okay.
they're doing Oliveira versus Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
That frees up a certain somebody. If you do the rematch of Conor McGregor and Max Holloway for the BMF belt, because look, they're not going to put Conor in certain fights. He has 2 fights left on his contract. That's a fight that I could see them making that. I could definitely see them making that.
Ooh.
Because look, Max is number 5, but what's Chandler?
Chandler's number 7.
He has number 7, so they're gonna do Conor versus Chandler.
And Chandler wants to go for the belt, right? So fighting a Charles
Yeah,
Oliveira makes sense for him. He beats Charles. He's right up there again.
yeah, but Conor needs a big fight to come back to, and they're not gonna give him a title shot. But the next biggest thing I think would be a BMF
A
fight
BMF
with Conor
title.
and Max. It's a rematch.
Conor would want to be able to say, I held the featherweight, the lightweight,
He would
and
love it.
also the BMF.
He would love
OMG, Will, you might have just booked the
it.
next blockbuster pay
I
per
don't
view,
even
dude.
I don't even like constantly like, well, where's Connor in this? Where's Connor in this? Should there be a Connor fight? But this is the one time where I'm like, actually, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is unheard of.
Yeah,
For you to pick or start thinking about a Conor McGregor main event.
I know. I know.
Well, hey,
What
props
can
to
I
you
say?
for thinking outside the box, sir. I'll
Is
give
it
you that.
even? Has anybody else said that? I feel like that's probably
I haven't seen it.
is that a crazy pick?
I haven't seen it. Did you
I
just
haven't
come in
either.
with a hot take?
Is that a hot take? I don't think it is.
I don't know. Probably not, but all right, man. Wait, that's all I got for the main event. A lot of tears shed last night for Max Holloway. Still one of the best to ever do it. One of the best featherweights to ever do it. Where does Max land in the all-time featherweight list for you?
Either 2 or 3. I go back and forth. It's either 2 or
You
3.
got
Him
Jose
and Volker.
Aldo.
Jose Aldo's number 1, and
Give
then
me
it's
Jose
Max
Aldo
Volk.
number one. Give me Max number two.
Volk 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard
Yes.
because I mean Volk beat Max in his prime so many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I think
know.
you probably go Aldo, Volk, Max at this point.
You know what? You might be right, but give me Aldo number one, Max number two, Volk number three. We'll stick with
Yeah.
that. All right. We'll go to the co-main
Well,
events.
what do you want next with Ilia? What's the title fight? Is it they're saying maybe the Volk rematch? They're saying Diego Lopez
No.
was the backup for this fight.
Man, right now, he's so hot right now. You know, just throw anybody his way. I think that
Whoa,
The
HLB
Ilya that
Comer,
oh, what up,
he's
HLB
back.
Comer?
Can somebody hold
Yes,
me
can
while we
somebody hold
cry together?
It's for
God,
real.
you're telling me,
Just
dude.
all of our arms around each other, dude, are just looking down, tears pouring. But
Yeah,
look, I think that Ilya has a skill set. He's young, he's hungry, he wants to go down as one of the best to ever do it. I think that he is going to be one of those champions that you've been longing for, Will. Somebody that's going to stay in that division
I
and
hope.
just run through a ton of people. So
He's
let's
already
see
talking
who
about
else we have
becoming a
there.
3 division champ. It's like, bro,
He needs to chill.
he needs to
Uh,
chill. Shout
yeah,
out
we
HLB
have
Comer.
Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, Yair Rodriguez,
Oh,
Mosvar,
the Yair fight. Give me that, dude. I want that.
Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett, Aljamain Sterling, Calvin Cater. Look, he has an
Look,
opportunity, I think, to run through those top 10.
I need to see him. If I could pick, if in my perfect world, they do a Volk rematch, they do Lopez, he needs to fight the winner of Evloev versus Aljamain. I'd like to see him against both those guys, Evloev and Aljamain Sterling. Like you said, Yair Rodriguez, I think is a great matchup that I'd love to see. Um, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's some great matchups. I hope he doesn't start doing 2 division bullshit when there's all those guys that they all pose something different. Like Evloev is a very different fight. Yair Rodriguez obviously is a very different fight. Volkanovski, we've seen it. I still kind of want to see it again. HW Comer, as I say that, says we don't want the Volk rematch. Enough dead people already. That's the one thing. I don't think I can take another
Yeah, I don't
Volkanovski
want to see a
knockout.
Volk rematch. I don't want to see a Volk rematch.
It's gonna happen though. It is
Shout out
happening.
Ghost.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.